tremendous. Oh,
Yes!
sorry, I'm not doing that again.
No, don't do that again.
Okay,
now.
welcome back to Andertons TV.
Why am I doing this? Because it's not me.
Is that left-handed salutes?
It is.
What country, does any country left-handed salute? Is that like some, anyway, whatever.
Ambidextrous salute.
This is a Tales from the Pedal Cabinet episode where Pete and I grab pedals that look new and we've not seen before and we think we'll just plug them in. So there's a selection of brands and things here. How are you, Mr. Pete?
I've still got a cough.
You have? You've got like
I've got a million
300-day cough.
antibiotics. If anyone out there, what am I doing wrong? I've had antibiotics, I've had it all. What am I doing? I can't get away with it.
Anyway.
Get away with it.
You'll be all right. Sooner or later, one of these pedals will cure you.
I think so, yeah.
So we've got a spatial delivery filter, envelope filter thing
Super spatial
from Earthquake and Devices. The V3, we've got a couple of pedals from Catalinbread, a boost and a drive. We've got a new pedal from JHS.
Yeah.
Allegedly, it's been ages since we did a JHS pedal. A brand new drive circuit from them. We've got an affordable, massively ambient reverb pedal from Walrus here, called, funnily enough, the Ambient. And then we've got a real white whale in the room to give us some genuine spring reverb and tremolo from a pedal.
All the links are below for this. If you want to watch any of the videos, you can use the
There's a message underneath here for you, Pete. What does that say? Yeah,
it says please like and subscribe. Love you long time.
What can I say?
Yeah.
Right, so the spatial delivery. It's a great play on words, that one, isn't it? Envelope filter with sample and hold. Spatial delivery is an oddball. I'm reading directly from the Earthquaker website here. A voltage-controlled envelope filter. Did you say envelope or envelope? It depends how posh you are.
Yeah. Is it really?
Envelope is posh.
In Danish it's convolut.
Is it?
Convolut.
Thank you.
Convolut.
And it allows you to step outside. You can step outside the universe of funk. Why would you want to do that? While reinforcing your secret love affair with the auto wah. Wow. Best marketing ever.
Basically, you can do anything with it.
Maybe.
Is that what we're saying?
Right, we've got 3 modes: up sweep, down sweep, sample and hold functions, range, resonance. Just plug it in, see what happens here. It's cosmic, baby. Right.
Can we just mention this guitar?
You mention it while I read what this thing does. Guitar? Tell me about it.
Signature guitar of the great Justin Derrico. It's a Shabat.
Still touring with Pink. Relentless touring.
And when he's not doing that, he's on
The Voice.
The Voice, America. We're going into these 2 are going in the effect loop of the WC, and these 4 going in the front end.
We're going to use this pedal with the green light engaged. This is called live mode. This is where basically wherever the knobs are set, that's the sound. If I was in red mode, we are now recalling presets here. So anything we do in green mode, we can save as a preset. The main switch works either as an on-off switch or as a momentary switch, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Let's just see what happens then. So let's start in our up mode with everything at 12 o'clock and see what happens.
Wow. So what have we got on there? What is it?
Well,
range?
So we've got range, resonance and filter.
Right.
And we're in the up mode. So every filter is going to force the tone of the guitar upwards as opposed to downwards. And then we're just adjusting the range of that, the resonance and
life is full of ups and downs, Lee.
You've gone like full funk mode. What if I switch it to down but without changing any of the settings? We should just get like the same idea, but now it's going to force the pitch downwards. Crikey, that's a bit maybe.
Wow, so that's...
It's quite hard
almost
to get
too much, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite hard to get something in that funky vein with in the down mode.
Yeah.
I'm slightly confused as to what this sample hold mode does in the middle. I suppose we could just switch it in and see what happens.
Exactly, let's try.
That's what it does.
Got a tempo then?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. That's a really weird auto wire effect, isn't it? It's like
Random, isn't it? It's random. Tempo.
What's resonance doing?
I love the little bits and
pretty
plugs. That's cool,
cool.
isn't it?
It's like a glitchy.
Yeah, I like it. Picoso, I like it. I tell you what, if we put the ambient on there.
It's like you're dropping something in water
it's like
in a cave, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
cave. Wasn't that the...
So I think you've got kind of like in the up mode, it's a relatively conventional envelope filter with lots of usable funky tones.
I like it.
Down mode kind of seems to sort of overload, gives you almost like a dirty funk thing.
Yeah.
And then the sample hole is just, this is crazy, right?
Well, so what's this here? There's a preset here.
Yes, but we're not in preset mode.
Can we go and just listen to the presets?
Yes,
if there's somebody
that's a
clever
great
that's made
idea.
some presets.
Yes. That is Shaft, isn't it? Like the detective with
Shaft.
the massive moustache and his leather jacket on. It's just coming through the door, isn't he? With his like little.
Hands up!
Exactly that, isn't it?
Hands up,
I
motherfucker.
like.
Shut the front door.
Number 2. That's got that distorted bass end thing, hasn't
It's
it?
almost it rises. It rises to a point.
Out so I can stand. There's almost like the sound of the Han Solo's laser in Star Wars. That's how George Lucas did it, with a spatial delivery. That's number 3.
I bet you he delivered. Anyway.
Spatially.
We're ambient.
Especially for you.
Kylie and Jason.
I know. What happened there?
Yeah.
Right, number 4.
They're all very similar,
They're very
aren't they?
similar. I mean, obviously you can save your own presets. This is horror movie stuff, isn't it? Shall we move on? Shall we move on? Have we spatially delivered enough information?
Did we deliver spatially?
I think we did.
I think we did.
So there we are. That's that one.
I like that.
Links below if you want to go find out how much these are. It gets a bit more conventional now. So let's find out about the Catalinbread Super Chili Picoso.
Yes.
This is easy. This is apparently a repro of the pedal that started it all for Catalinbread.
Right.
So it's going here back in 2003. This is the pedal that sort of built them all. The Super Chili Picoso. Right, that says Picoso, and here it says Picasso. I wonder which it is. You say Picoso, I say Picasso. It's probably Picoso.
It's Picoso, isn't it?
It's 35 decibels of uncharted MOSFET-powered clean boost.
That's a lot.
And you can engage the spicy switch to, what does this do? To stack a second MOSFET-powered boost in series with the original for even more hair-raising gain. Let's start with just the chicken korma.
That's the spicy meatball.
Single chili.
We have what we had before, just clean.
Does it sound like I can still hear some spatial delivery on
Yeah,
there? Or have I made that up?
I think you just delivered two space. That sticks in the ear.
Right, it does.
There's an ear hole.
We're going in.
Yeah, turn it on, man. That's what it says on the tin.
This is almost like exotic EP boost territory, where
sounds good.
It's like it's just an always on, makes it fatter and better, but it's not necessarily a gigantic difference. Maybe that's where extra spicy comes in. You want extra chili sauce with that, sir?
Please.
Okay.
I like it.
We always say this,
Picasso.
if you've got a nice edge of breakup valve amplifier, of which the Deputy is a perfectly good example of that,
Yeah, there we go.
a decent boost pedal will open up a ton of extra tones in the amplifier. So the gain sounds that you're hearing here are as a result of us driving the amp harder rather than the pedal itself. So you're going to get a very different result if you use this pedal into a solid state amplifier or into perhaps an amp that's already a lot more driven in the first place.
Look, we are tuning. Actually, we
what?
don't cut all that out. We do tune guitars sometimes.
I bloody love that guitar, Pete.
It's a good
The
guitar,
black
man.
over gold is such a sexually inspiring finish.
Sexually transmitted feeling. So now,
Right.
good.
So we've boosted the Deputy up. It's got a switch on the front where you can kind of, have a slightly higher. So now,
Free status.
Ooh. So this is now, again, this is like boost into an already driven game. We might not need to be on the super spicy mode. Let's see.
That's bottom end as well.
Yeah.
They're very underwound, these pickups. They're very...
See, I think that's a good example of where you
like
can
it.
put too much Like if you go to spicy mode, what happens is I think the bass end on the amp and the drive on the amp goes flubby, whereas in mild
bit like
mode,
me at the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, what am I talking about? You look fine.
Let's go in for the playing.
Okay, mild,
Yeah.
spicy. Oh, look, man.
Sounds good.
There's dozens of boost pedals on the market.
More than dozens.
Probably. This one sounds perfectly good, as do most of the other ones. But I like what a boost does to a nice valve amplifier.
Yeah.
Right, let's go back to a slightly cleaner tone and see what happens with the Catalinbread Supercharged.
Yes.
Right, so according to the website, the Supercharged is an overdrive pedal with a tilt EU? No, we can't have that anymore in this country.
No.
It's EQ mode.
You can't
Sorry.
call it EU mode.
We've left that. We're now in EQ mode. This is but powered by 8, not 1 or 4 or 6, 8. This is what happened when we left the EU. We got 8 MOSFET transistors for free to power the NHS with.
Yeah.
It's the truth with this pedal.
There's 350 million
MOSFET transistors
inside this pedal.
Sorry, right. Powered with 8 MOSFET transistors tuned to put tons of gain at your disposal and with some EQ as well. So let's see what this sounds like. Everything's at pretty much at 12 o'clock. That's a lot. Too much, or
It's maybe 349 million too many. Is it very tinny?
it's like a filter EQ
Right.
thing. It's very growly. I think it's got that.
That's what she said.
For me, that sort of MOSFET, sort of 70s style distortion.
Yeah.
Maybe not what you would consider like a very natural sounding overdrive. It's a sort of it's of a style,
has a place.
isn't it?
It has a place.
Absolutely.
What was the MXR Super Distortion? Was that the Super Distortion
No,
Plus?
I'm not sure what other. I mean, that Wampler thing recently was a MOSFET, like a tribute to MOSFET, wasn't it? So I think there's like you say, it has its place in guitar history. It's maybe not the most widely used type of drive, but
No.
I was trying to think of a genre that reminded me of. Is it like a 70s rock or punk type vibey thing?
Maybe punk type.
I don't know.
Is it? Also, I don't know. Well, I don't know.
Play a bit of, God Save the Queen by the Pistols. I'm going to see if that's the sound.
What is that? Is that just like...
You have to do the half a step.
Let's see, that's... It's not God Save the King now.
Eventually.
I don't look.
But that's tuned down.
Like
It's
that. Anyway, look.
look.
Catalinbread Supercharged. There you go. If you love that and you want to find out more, links
And if
below.
you're playing in a Girls Aloud cover band, that's the pedal you need.
Crikey, this is a trip down memory lane.
It is. It is.
Would you like to talk about the JHS Hard Drive? Well, it's tough because we're talking about it anyway. So the hard drive is the first. This is from the JHS website too. Hard drive is the first attempt in our company's 15-year history. I thought they'd been around longer than that, but at a full-blown and respectable modern distortion pedal that is not based on a previous circuit or a classic topology. In 2016, way back, Josh had the idea to develop a circuit that covered the best high-gain distortion tones of the 90s and the 2000s. So again, girl band distortion or just generally distortion of that era?
That's just power chords all the way, isn't it?
What are we talking? We're talking new metal? Are we talking...
Are we talking like Limp Bizkit and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, maybe. Possibly. Anyway, so it's a sound that embodied... Yeah, a sound that embodied the post-grunge alternative rock movement. So what? Stone Temple Pilots?
Nickelback.
Nickelback.
Yeah, post-grunge.
Five Finger Death Punch?
No.
Kidding.
I'm thinking... I don't know. I'm thinking...
Rage Against the Machines?
Maybe. Korn?
Well, that's new metal.
Is it post-grunge? Post-grunge. Well, let's all have a massive argument about what post-grunge alternative actually means.
I've got no idea.
Yes. Okay, fine. That's it. Also, single-handedly destroyed any chance of selling any of these.
Yeah, Nickelback in a box.
Anyway, it's taken him 8 years to finish it, and it has, in fairness, there's a little nice. A little tribute at the bottom here saying that a former head engineer at JHS, Mr. Cliff Smith, who passed away sadly in 2021, this was one of the final bits of work that Cliff did for JHS. So there's a nice tribute to him at the bottom of this, which is lovely.
That's lovely.
So let's have a little
got
listen.
a heartbeat there. So yeah, that's
indeed.
Lovely.
We've got here. It's pretty conventional, right? We've got volume, parametric mid-range, drive, bass and treble.
Like a parametric. I thought you said parametric.
Paramedic.
Paramedic.
Yeah, it's got a paramedic mid-range. Yeah. Take you around an ambulance as well as control how good you sound.
Is that Nickelback?
No. Nickelback, drop D.
3 days later.
But it was something. Anyway, why are we trying to play Nickelback
We're trying to play Nickelback. Anyway.
So let's not play 90s throwback Nickelback tunes and just see whether we can get some cool sounds from this pedal. So let's go low.
I'll just play the same chords I would play.
It's quite an interesting sort of compression and saturation thing. So if you go from 0 on the drive through to about 9 o'clock, it's quite an open sounding high gain pedal.
Yeah.
And then as you go past that, it becomes very compressed and higher gain and spongier. But you play as I'm sort of winding it up and you're here. If this is perhaps the first video that you've ever seen on our channel, then congratulations. You probably stopped watching about 30 seconds into the spatial delivery. But if you're still here, what we needed this pedal for was the recent Day of Soundlike videos that Ben and John did together, because they covered a load of those kind of 90s metal bands in that.
That's true.
Parametric EQs, if you're not familiar with this.
Clear.
Normally, if you have an amp or a pedal that has a bass, middle, and treble control, the manufacturer will have assigned a sort of a point on the EQ to for that control to boost or cut or whatever. A parametric EQ will have a secondary control on it here, the mid-frequency, that allows you to choose which element of that mid-range you're actually going to sort of cut and boost. Yeah. So it's a very, very especially in the mid-range, it's like you go through every type of guitar tone there is
it's cool
using that sort of parametric EQ. So that is a cool feature. I mean, not really for your low gain blues guys, but any sort of rock and above. Give us some chug.
That's great for that middle.
Good pedal. One of the best guitar solos of all time. Who was that? Was that Steve Howe? Was he the guitar player?
Steve Howe, when? Yeah, might have been.
That was Yes, wasn't it?
Yes. I don't know who was playing guitar.
Steve Howe?
I don't know. I'm sure they'll know out there.
It's blooming good. Great solo.
That's a good guitar riff as well,
great use of sort of guitar technology on that solo, because I'm sure it's all pitch shifted weird stuff. And anyway, right. Are we done?
What a good riff that is.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Woo!
And the great thing is when you watch the video of that was like really early, the whole concept of doing videos, and it's just like the whole band are just like badly dressed dads playing to some sort of terrible green screen.
Is it Greg Howe?
No,
It's Trevor Rubin.
Oh, it's neither of them.
Oh, well, there you go.
Steve, what band was Steve Howe in then?
He was in, but you're not in that period of Yes.
He was in Yes, but not okay.
He was in No.
No, Greg Howe was an like American later kind of shred demon thing.
I know him well. He's a good.
And Tom Howe works for the computer, ERP system that we have, developing the code that we have for our.
Tom Howe,
and doesn't play guitar.
Right. Tom Know-How, is that his middle name is No?
I don't actually think Tom has ever been mentioned in an Andertons video before.
Tom Know-How.
Probably doesn't watch, don't even know if he plays the guitar. Anyway,
let's move on to...
These last two pedals are through the effects loop of the amplifier.
Don't know where this is going.
If you're not familiar with the Walrus Fundamental series, it was the Walrus attempt to take some of their more expensive designs and do them in a range of pedals that were way more affordable. We think this is an affordable version of the Walrus Schlo.
Yeah, it's got something like that to it, doesn't it?
Let's have a little look. Right, so it's £125, so it's definitely sort of at the more affordable end. And they don't make any reference to the Schlo, so that's entirely our opinion. And maybe we're right, maybe we're wrong. But we've got 3 versions of reverb, deep, lush and haze, and then we can adjust the decay, tone and mix. Now again, we are running through the effects loop, which I think for really big reverb pedals is important.
Right, I'll turn the reverb off.
Right, we're going totally dry.
It's totally clean, man. Bareback.
Good job. Starting in deep mode. Everything on 12?
Yeah.
Well, it's quite nice. This is a feature of the whole fundamental range of these sliders, which are a bit different.
That's a nice sound. I mean, you could put a little bit of that on there. Excuse me.
You okay?
This is my nose is running. That sounds good.
So big reverbs,
wow.
super popular over the last few years. So you've got lots and lots of pedals that will replicate a more conventional amp style reverb, and then things like the Schlo really pioneered that kind of massive ambient reverb, and then it things like Strymon Cloudburst took it into another sort of
atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think this isn't doing the Cloudburst sort of ensemble type thing.
Also, is it ensemble?
It's or envelope no, it's definitely not ensemble, is it? Well, speaking of which, another great girl band from the 90s, En Vogue.
En Vogue.
Or depending on how posh you were, En Vogue.
En Vogue.
They weren't English.
Is it banana or is it banana?
Bananarama. That was 80s.
But then is it... Because I just wonder. What are we doing next here?
Should we just try Lush and Haze?
Yeah.
Absolutely. 3 different types of mushroom. Mr. P, I shouldn't talk over the trails, but
no,
that
Mick's gonna
Mr.
come
P
and smack you.
Was shades of Jeff Buckley, his Grace album.
Yeah, he's got,
which is again a brilliant guitar album.
I think I heard something. There was something that came up.
I don't think it's 40 years old, but I mean. But not even that track. There's other tracks on that album which are all
Grace. Is it called Grace?
Really, yes.
But it is that. Oh, this guitar is so good as well, man.
It's naughty, that guitar, isn't it?
Ouchie.
The mix control on it, I think you've got to... There is a danger with this type of reverb pedal that you, particularly I think if you're recording, or people might say live as well, it's ever so easy to put too much on this.
Yeah.
And then it's fun while you're in the moment, but then you listen back to anything, or you add in any kind of venue reverb and you realise that you can barely hear the guitar. But you've got a mix control.
You were so good in bed, but you were terrible. You just thought put too much into it.
Absolutely.
And it all went off the rails.
That was my entire life. So if I take the mix control right down, we'll probably get, you'll still have all of that stuff, but it'll be more in the background.
And probably the decay.
That's another problem I'm having at the moment
the decaying slowly. I love this guitar, man. Wow, it's so good.
We've done well with that. It's a lot of people watching this won't even be familiar with Shabat, but we met Avi at the NAMM show about 18 months, 2 years ago maybe. Yeah. And he had a tiny little booth. He makes guitars in California. Tiny little booth.
Lovely man.
Yeah, and the first time we met him, it was just like, he's a sweetheart, so you almost want to like his guitars just because he's so nice. But then the second NAMM show that we met him, he was almost like the talk of the boutique area. Like all these other builders like Nick Huber, and we're just going, Avi's got it going on. His guitars are great. And then Justin Derrico did his guitar with him, and it's pretty cool. But I don't want to keep talking about this, but this is, so Justin Derrico's signature is actually not massively dissimilar to a guitar that Shabat were making anyway, called the Lion, or the Lion Deluxe, sorry. So it's very much like a blend of features that you'd find on a Telecaster and features you'd find on a Les Paul. But Justin's model went for the 24 and 3/4 inch scale length as opposed to the
Less than the
conventional
small one, yeah.
25.5 inch. And it gives it its own vibe. I think there's a different bridge on Justin's guitar, but I love all the little detail about the way the pickup selector isn't straight.
stuff.
It's on a slightly more, ergonomic kind of angle, but the necks are great.
Yeah.
A tiny little company anyway, based out of California. If you get to play one ever, you should.
Links are below.
Right, let's listen to Haze. We haven't heard that yet.
Purple Haze.
Yes.
It's just inspirational to play. I mean, this guitar in the amp and this stuff, just
if I think
play it
about
all day long, it's lovely.
When Schlo came out, and the Schlo was 200 quid, and then Cloudburst was 250, 300, whatever, and both pedals sold masses and masses of pedals. I think this will do really well because it does open it up to a newer, lower price.
Just a lush one there. Just
the Haze felt the cleanest one. I think I liked Deep and Lush better. A facial delivery there at some point.
Absolutely.
Should we talk about the White Whale?
An ambient
facial
facial
this video
delivery.
is already 3 hours long.
They always are these, but they're fun.
Yes. So this is a company called Crazy Tube Circuits. They're in Greece, right? Have I made that up? I'm sure they are. I'm going to Greece for my summer holiday.
Lucky you.
So the White Whale, obviously, there's a reason it's such
It's going to be raining down there, isn't it?
Oh, let's hope not. There's a reason it's such a big pedal, and that's because you've got real springs to do the reverb in there, which is super cool. This is very much taking those old early Fender amplifiers that would have had a spring reverb and a valve tremolo circuit in them, and you there it is in a pedal.
This is V2
cool
as well.
That?
V2,
is it?
Yeah. Did you know that they've used to get oil from the sperm whales in here to light everything up?
Wasn't it all the street lamps in London were powered by
sperm whale
blubber? Yeah. Lots of lipsticks used to have
perfume.
Is it perfume? I tell you what, it's
just the stupidest thing ever.
It's so wonderful to hear how, since the global kind of ban on whaling has taken effect, that in a relatively short period of time, like 20 or 30 years, those populations of whales are recovering massively.
And I tell you what, they'll be here right after, even we are gone. They'll still be here.
I hope so.
Going, oh my God, thank God they're gone.
They're in my oceans and all that stuff. But
Plastic.
Anyway, enough of this. Let's look at what have we got on the reverb side. We've got mix, tone, volume, dwell, and then 3 short, medium, and long.
Yeah.
So should we start with short and see what we get?
Just to... There you go.
It's true.
That's so cool, isn't it?
That's like a traditional amp style reverb, isn't it?
Mick and Dan loved this pedal. It sounds great, man.
Of course they did.
It's very Telecaster-y, this guitar.
It's got
humbuckers in it.
It's got that top-end metallicness that I think is very difficult to replicate digitally.
What, you mean like an amp and a box that tries to recreate it?
What can I say, Pete? We're dinosaurs. We're white whales. You know that, don't you?
We are not Moby Dick. So this is the mix control there. It's an overall volume, so you can boost
you can
the whole
drive
thing.
presumably the input stage of the reverb.
want to hear.
It's clangity, clang,
there's
clang.
a dwell. Let's have a listen.
Is this expensive, Pete?
I'm not sure. I'm
I'll
sure
look
it
it up
is.
for you.
Right, so let's just see the dwell here. Put it all the way up. Dwell. Did they put the lights on?
And we've still got the long mode to go as well. So
Yeah,
we go
we have.
long dwell.
Oh, no, that was.
This for
lovely.
me is clearly this is
beautiful.
for if you've got a vintage amplifier that has no reverb in it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have necessarily, if you've got a spring reverb in your amplifier already, a bit pointless buying this unless you want to do that kind of reverb on reverb thing. But if I look at things like Dan's matchless amplifier and stuff like that have no reverb in them, old AC30s, things like that, and you want to have, this is the vintage correct way of getting reverb.
Or-
You would have had to have had one of those old Fender tube reverb type things.
Or you have something like this that has reverb in it
but with a
already,
digital
but a
reverb.
digital
Yeah.
reverb, and you want the real thing.
Yeah.
Man, this sounds so good.
It does sound good. Can we?
It sounds so good.
Let's find a nice reverb. As if we sort of go that medium, not too over the top. Hear what the.
Yeah.
Oh wow, and we got. So you got harmonic, tremolo, hard and soft, optical versus tube.
I know it's
Oh
a
no,
tube
I
in
see.
there.
Sorry. So you can have a tube tremolo, optical tremolo, or harmonic tremolo, using that switch, and then you switch between hard and soft when you're in harmonic mode. Pre or post? I'm guessing is it running the tremolo into the reverb or after the reverb?
Yeah.
And then you've got volume, speed, and intensity like you would have anyway.
I'll
Pretty
tell you
cool,
what this
right?
is. This is basically it's basically a flint.
But
A flint,
but not digital.
but a real one. But not
like an
digital.
analog
Yeah.
flint. Analog flint. That's what cavemen used to, before they had chainsaws, they got an analog axe. Just got a bit of flint on the end of it. Poof. Anyway, probably didn't say that. Let's try a tube tremolo. Woo!
Whoa, that's a lot
loud,
of volume
isn't
in
it?
that. So you're boosting into
Yeah,
that,
it does
right?
sound good though, man. Do you know what I know
Such
this
a
is like
Nashville, beautiful.
a full dinosaur T-Rex mode here like that, but it's so nice when you've got just all analog stuff. No matter how hard you hit that, you never hit that sort of digital ceiling where there's a point at which the digital goes, I didn't really like that.
Yeah.
Analog just goes, well, I'll just compress a bit more then and it's fine. And I'm just listening to you playing that and you were just the way it was handling, and there's none of that sense of there's that just, it just crept over that threshold where it didn't like it. I don't know.
Where there was,
I'm just old.
24
I'll be
bits
extinct
and-
soon, don't worry kids.
24 bits of this and that. No, it's just real, man. It
just sounds
I mean,
great.
it's you have to be in the room with stuff like this because it's a different
It's
experience.
about the one.
to
It's
play
about
it.
the extra. Well, not even extra, but it's about that 1 or 2%.
It's not
isn't it,
2%, man.
You think it's what?
I think it's 65%. I think it's 75% you can get out of it. That's
Okay.
more there for real. There's something to the whole thing. There's nothing in between that's not real.
That sounds like a blindfold test.
Huh?
No, you will. You'll get. That's what I'm saying. It's how it dealt with those extreme dynamics.
Yeah.
That it's
There's
so
just-
natural.
There's something. place, but it's just it's not the same.
Very cool. Could we try the optical
Yes.
and the harmonic tremolo, and then we'll finish?
Optical. Finish
With
with,
the
the
facial
spatial delivery. Harmonic.
Way more chewy. Like there's more modulation on the harmonic, isn't there?
Chewy.
And you're in hard mode.
It's the one that goes, ooh, that's Scooby-Doo. This sounds so good.
It does sound
dude.
good. I thought this would be dearer. Well, that was a fun little trip through a few weirdy, wonderful pedals from our pedal
love
cabinet.
that.
He does.
Absolutely love that pedal.
Good for you, man.
For me, that's the favourite. I mean, that was good. That was good. This is the star of the show. This is the Moby Dick of reverb pedals. Wow. Sorry.
I'm trying to think of the lyrics now, and this would have been a good joke if I could have remembered them.
In a white whale.
What was what was the Billy Idol? White whale.
White whaling.
White whale. Hey, little sister, where have you been?
I think we just need to stop now. The link's below on that one. If you want to watch more videos up there, you can win a real clon as well. So
what
at some point.
Fun trip down facial deliveries, chili Picassos, supercharging, hard driving,
Picasso.
ambient white whaling. This has been Andertons TV. See you in the next video.